What is up, YouTube? KM888 here, and today I'm here for you guys with a video about my side deck. I've told you guys I was going to do these. The way I'm going to do this video is going to be called, well, spoilers alert because the title is right beneath this video, how to side against Orcust. The thing is, I found it hard to talk about a specific card and what it can do against all kind of meta decks. While in general terms you don't have anything with you aren't anything with that information. It's better for you guys to know what I would be doing if I were to face against decks like that. So first things first, like against Orcust, for instance, if you're going first, you know you're going first, don't change up a thing. Like, your deck is perfect. Like, don't change it up. Like, your main deck, the way it is the way you should be playing it. You don't need Lancias at that point. You don't need any other card. Now, going second, however, you are going to need some cards. So the thing that I side against Orcust right now is triple Lancia, triple Gnome Material, and double infinite Impermanence. I will be talking about the relevance of these cards. The basic thing against Orcust that you want to do... Oh, can't see the Lancias. The basic thing that you want to do against Orcust is stop their plays entirely. So, obviously, Lancia is the best one. Lancia just stops anything from being banished, so they can't get into their entire Orcust combos, they can't set their cards, they can't go into anything, basically. If they have a lot of extenders, they might be able to make a Rusty Bardish, send a Phantom Knight Monsters to set a Fogblade, but their turn will end right there. So they aren't going to have a lot of cards if you have the Lancia. That's an obvious one. The other ones might not be that obvious. Like, the fact why I'm playing the Infinite Impermanence is actually really simple. I just wanted extra cards to stop the entire combo, and if you stop Mermaid, half of the time the combo ends. Not if they have the Harp Horror, then you want to throw this maybe on the Galatea, the Phantom Knight Rusty Bardish. It's kind of dependent on what they throw away, so you have to make a decision there. But the most important part of the Infinite Impermanence, it can't be called by the grave. They are running triple call by the grave just for the Lancias alone already. So yeah, you want to have something at least that can't be called, just in case. And that's also the reason I'm playing 8 hand traps at that point. If they have a call by the grave, there's a reasonable enough chance that I have a second hand trap in my hand, so that can actually stop them dead in their tracks. So the first card out of these 8, the Lancia. I don't think I have to say a lot about this. If you have this, just shotgun it. It's the easiest way to get their entire fields off. I do realize that shotgunning a card is hardly ever the right play, but I've seen people actually main decking Allure of Darkness and drawing into their Call by the Graves because of that. If you have this, just throw it out there, then you know what to expect. I do feel it's the best way, like, to use a Lancia in that matchup. If if by any miracle they allow you to go first and you have this, you can just Pendulum summon it out. It is this card also works from the field, just like Ghost Ogre, so why not, right? So that's the first card. It's actually an easy one. Lancia is just the best one. Then we have the Gnome Material. The only and foremost reason I was siding this is because of Orcust. I wanted something more except the Lancia. Like, just 3 Lancias isn't enough to stop an Orcust player. You're not going to draw them all the time. In comes Gnome Material. Gnome Material is actually a really specific card if you think about it. You can't have any cards on your side of the field to activate this. And the reason... Well, I was playing Fantastical Dragon before, and those 2 cards just conflict so much with each other. Same with Infinite Impermanence. If you had a Fantastical Dragon, you can't activate this anymore. So, in general, I thought the Gnome material would be way better. And after testing it actually has been. So just throw this on the first one, the Nightmare Phoenix, the Nightmare Cerberus. If you throw it on that card, they can't go into Nightmare Mermaid. And because the Phoenix and the Cerberus don't have a downwards arrow, they can't actually do anything. So yeah, that's always a thing. If the opponent is expecting Gnome material and they start their combo with an Ibli, that would actually suck, but because they are giving you the Ibli. But you can still, if they make Mermaid and they trigger the Ibli in the graveyard, you can quickly chain this. At least they can't get rid of their Mermaid and they're stuck there, so yeah. In general, Gnome material, a really solid card against the Orcust matchup. And then the final two, the Infinite Impermanence. As I was talking about earlier, the card is kinda iffy, but it's also a really good one. So most of the time in an Orcust deck, they are gonna go the same route. They're gonna go Nightmare Mermaid, discard a card, special the Nightmare Orcust, link that into Galatea, Orcust effect, send Harp Horror effect, banish it, summon the skeleton from the deck, go from there. Now the thing is, if they don't discard an Orcust card with the Nightmare Mermaid, Infinite Impermanence is just as well game as Lancia or Gnome material. If they are going to if they discard like an Orcust Harp Horror already, then this card isn't going to do a lot because they just achieve the same thing with the card they have discarded. So at that point, if they discard a Harp Horror or an Orcust Symbol Skeleton, just keep the Infinite Impermanence, and you have to wait for the Galatea to actually try and use its shuffling effect, or you can keep it for the Rusty Bardish, because throwing this on the Rusty Bardish actually takes away 2 of their negates, so it's also a thing that you can do. Those are the cards that you're definitely going to have to side in at that point. If you're following my list, of course. If you have another list, you can try that. Some cards that people are always talking about to me are Sphere Mode, Lava Golem, and Chaos Hunter. I don't feel Lava Golem or Sphere Mode are worth it to be side decked. Sure, sometimes they make a big board, but against Orcust they still have their traps, they still have their Fog Blades, they still might have hand traps, Called by the Grave, stuff like that. And the only thing that card does is take away your normal summon, so it's actually kind of sad. On top of that, I really don't... I've had the card a couple of times in my hand and it never worked out as I wanted it to, so... Don't try to break the board, just prevent it with these. It's just way easier, I feel. Next to that, the Chaos Hunter. There isn't one time in the entire combo where you can safely throw Chaos Hunter so they can't progress their combo. If you throw it on the first one, the Nightmare Phoenix, or these, like, I have to say this correctly. If you throw it on the Nightmare Mermaid, they just summon a monster. They can go into Nightmare Cerberus, pop the Chaos Hunter. If you throw it on the Nightmare Cerberus or on the Nightmare Phoenix, they can just still go into a Galatea, make the Dingirsu, and Dingirsu can just send the Chaos Hunter. The only thing you'll be doing is robbing them of some resources, and I just don't feel that's worth it. So that's the general reason that I went for these 8. Now from the main deck, how do you side things out? Well, you are going second. So going second, you don't need certain cards. You have a 6th card in your hand. You're gonna hope one of the 5 first cards is one of these. And then you have to play with 5 cards still. So that's actually pretty good. You get a little bit deeper into the deck. It's just a 6th card, but it does help. So yeah, why not? The first thing you're going to side out, of course, going second, is the Amorphage slot. It's actually only good against Salamangreat when going second, I feel. So yeah. Against all other matchups, I just side this out, going second. Next up, triple Curtainraiser. I really like the card, but going second, you don't need it. You can just scale, Pendulum a couple cards, make Boral Sword OTK. You don't need Curtainraiser going second because Electromite isn't that important anymore. Then, same thing as with the Amorphous slot basically. Your Guardragon combo is a little bit weaker going second because there might be negates. And I don't think you need the Dragon Caller at that point. The Dragon Caller is mostly great going first because you have a safe option to go for your Guardragon play. I don't feel you need it as much going second. So siding out this card, just to side in some hand traps is actually a really viable option. So when going second and I'm siding in 8 cards, I'll throw out the Dragon Caller. If I only have to side 6 cards, I probably keep this in. Just because it's another body on board, it's another card, so yeah. Same reasoning as the Dragon Caller Magician. Dragon Shrine. I cut one out of the main deck. I am running 3. So after siding, I'm only running 2. It's most of the time it's still enough. You don't really need it at that point, and cutting the the Dragon Shrine out of the deck just makes sure that there's lesser chance of bricking. So I really like cutting the card too. And then the final 2 cards that I'd be cutting is the Upstart Goblin, because Upstart Goblin is just a free card to be siding out. That's like general deck building, I guess. And then the Jackal King. I am playing 2 Jackal Kings in the main, and its major use is actually because you want to stop hand traps. But when they are going first, most of the time they'll put out the hand traps, and they just want to have their combo. So the Jackal King is more or less a brick in that case, and you just want to side it out. So I'd side out these 8 cards and put in these 8, and just hope for the best. Like if you draw any of these and they don't have Call by the Grave, you win, because yeah, you just OTK next turn and you don't care about the rest. If you don't draw any of these 8, then well, yeah, tough luck, I guess. You might still break their board if they bricked as well. It's just 50-50 at that point, I feel, so yeah. That's it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. I'm gonna try and do some more in the near future. This was one for Orcust, definitely one for Salamangreat and Sky Strikers coming up as well, and maybe one for the mirror match, the Pendulum mirror match, so yeah. Stay tuned for those videos. Ciao!